Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everyone. Today I've got a review for War for Cybertron Siege number 35. This is Deluxe Class Red Alert. Red Alert, as you can probably tell, is a minor retooling of Sideswipe from earlier in the line, which is fitting, seeing as Red Alert's always been either a retool or a redeco of Sideswipe. Personally, I'm excited to get this toy because I've never had a G1 Red Alert figure. I've had like Armada and Cybertron, but very different characters. I imagine overall there's not going to be too much fanfare for this guy just because he is very similar to a toy that's been pretty saturated on the shelves lately. But I'm still excited to have him. Red Alert's appearance, especially his like plastic coloring paint applications, have undergone several changes between the early renders and product shots and then the final toy. So I'll talk about that a little bit too. But if you know how my reviews go, we're going to take a look at the packaging, see the instructions, and then look at Red Alert himself in different modes. I'll do some comparisons with Sideswipe and then give some final thoughts. Alright, front of the package has Red Alert on proud display. He really stands out against the dark colors of the Siege packaging being mainly white. Got all your standard logos, Red Alert's name, serial number. On this side you have Red Alert in a battle wielding his weapons in a axe configuration, which you'll see. And then what looks like Ironhide and I'm not sure, 6-gun maybe in the background? Somebody. He's got some blacklight lettering on here, the Autobot font. His secret code is RUNG, which anyone familiar with the first run of IDW comics would get that joke. In those comics, Red Alert dealt with some serious mental and emotional issues, and Rung was his psychiatrist. So it's a really neat callback to something that's not necessarily, pure G1. And me being a fan of those comics, I definitely appreciate that. So you can go ahead, put that code on the website, get some goodies. On the back, you can see Red Alert in his 2 modes, along with interactivity with some Battle Masters, and I mentioned the changes that have happened. So get a gander at this render here. You might notice some things that are a little different from the final toy, especially like the biceps here. And we'll get into that. And then regular Siege artwork on this side. Alright, Red Alert's instructions are nice and clearly printed here. And open them up. You can see the conversion from a robot to vehicle mode. Right here shows how his weapon can be converted to its axe mode there. Then on the back, you have Micromasters and Battle Masters. And then you have the name of his weapon here. Now it's interesting because either configuration for his weapons have the exact same name. So it's the RT-10 Particle Beam Circuit Welder. And you have a regular gun configuration, and then you can combine it with the light bar to make it an axe. Same name, the stats are different. So I don't know if it's just an error that has the same name twice or what. Interestingly, Prowl had a similar setup with his weapon where you could attach a light bar to it, and the instructions said there was an axe mode, though the way the barrel was shaped, he couldn't actually hold the barrel in his hand. So seems like when it comes to those axe mode thing, they just really don't know what's going on. Right, here's Red Alert's vehicle mode, and it is the Cybertronian parallel to a Lamborghini, though one that's been modified to be a police car. So I don't know, a cop car in Miami maybe. You can see it's got this little Autobot badge, which is done up to look like it's some sort of like a fire chief's badge, which is kind of cool. Got some Cybertronian, some Autobot lettering right here. You got his gun, which is connected to the side. The instructions don't actually call out where to attach the gun, but it's really the only place you can. The light bar isn't permanently attached. It's just a separate piece that plugs into a 5mm port right there. Same one that Sideswipe has. And overall, this looks really nice. It's a good blend of black, red, and white. Sides look really cool, really make it look like a sports car. It's got some really nice paint on the hubcaps there, nice red paint, and overall just very nice looking. In the early renders for this toy, there was significantly more text on the hood of the car, and I'm guessing due to budget reasons, they decided to remove that, which is a shame because it looked really good. Here's Sideswipe in his vehicle mode for comparison, and as you can see, sculpt-wise, it's the same car. No difference. Instead of plugging a light bar into the top for Sideswipe, you just plug his weapon up there. So they both look really good in their own right. Both do their own thing very, very well. Sideswipe's door is messed up. And you know, if you wanted to get crazy, you could swap the accessories around. There, now Sideswipe's a cop too. Look at that. Right now we're going to do the transformation. If you haven't already, remove the weapon. Go ahead and take off his light bar for now. Set that to the side. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to open these side panels up. Bring out the arms, lift them up like this. Bring them and lift them like that. Flip the fists up. Turn those out a little. Here we're gonna open these shin panels all the way. Swing these legs down. Try not to scrape any paint if you can help it. Turn his legs around, separate them. Then his feet, you're just gonna flip out. Like that. These panels under his knees, you're gonna push all the way through. And you're gonna close up his shins. Make sure they plug in right there. All right, over here, you swing the panels all the way in. Swing this out, and then swing the whole hood section down. And then you just pose them however you see fit. And this is Red Alert's robot mode. You can see, very similar to Sideswipe's. The only difference, sculpting-wise, is that they've altered his helmet to look more like Red Alert's than Sideswipe's. Specifically, the horns are much shorter. Depictions of Red Alert hop back and forth between him having a black helmet like a Sideswipe or having a red one like his animation model. And it all just depends on whether they're going for toy accuracy or show accuracy. In this case, they're doing show accuracy, which I'm kind of all for because it helps distinguish him from Sideswipe. Right, his weapons, we've got a standard, blaster here. You can hold. Looks pretty nice, a little plain because it's black. And then you have his light bar. Now, if you want him just wielding the blaster normally, you could always just plug the light bar back in on his back there. Doesn't get in the way, looks just fine. Though it would prevent him from armoring up with weaponizers. Or, if you don't like that, you just take the axe, plug this the light bar into this hole in the gun, and then you slide that all the way through, and you've got an axe. So either configuration works. Me personally, I kind of prefer him having a blaster more than an axe. I just can't imagine this thing being very useful. I mean, it's an axe where the blades are cop blades. Looks kind of silly, but it's up to you. However you want to end up doing it. Alright, here's Red Alert next to Sideswipe in their robot modes, just so you can see the real difference between their head designs there. It really just looks like they kind of just shaved off the tips of his horns, because everything else about the helmet's identical. Face is the same, so it's a very minor tweaking of the mold. It might be hard to tell in this video, but their whites are actually quite different. Red Alert has a very bright white color for the most part, and Sideswipes are more of an off-white, almost like a tan. The reds are actually almost spot on between like the red paint on his hood and Sideswipe's red plastic. Very, very similar, if not exactly the same. Somewhat similar color layouts. Again, might be hard to tell, but he actually has two different shades of white. Like this is the brighter, and this is more of a pearly white right here. So their color layouts are, I'd say, pretty close to identical, honestly. Except for some painted details like the stripes. And he does have blue kneecaps, where his side swipes are just the same brushed metal look as the rest of his shins. Yeah, overall these two look really great together. They both, to me, are always going to be a little bit of a disappointment just because they're each lacking an important accessory from their classic toy. You know, Red Alert, he has his big blaster gun here that he can wield. It's not an exact match to the original, but you know, it's a large gun that he's holding. Where Sideswipe has the shoulder-mounted missile launcher. You know, in both the cartoon and the toys, each character had, you know, a handheld gun and a missile launcher on their shoulder. So neither of these guys gets everything, which, you know, I'm not shocked. You know, budget concerns are always a thing for Hasbro. They can't go all out and just load these guys up with tons of accessories. I mean, they could. Wish they would, but that just hasn't really been their thing lately. But if you want, you could always maybe borrow this guy's rocket launcher here. Gotta turn it around. And stick that on or Red Alert, like so, if you really just want to complete the look. Plus it matches because his missile on the end was actually red in the cartoon, unlike Sideswipe's. So if you have them both, you can mix and match, customize a little bit, if that's what you're into. Either way, these are both solid figures. You know, I think by far the best rendition of this Lamborghini body type that they've ever put into a toy form, aside from maybe Masterpiece. And if you're wondering, no, I don't have Masterpiece Red Alert, so can't show that one, sorry. But yeah, I mean, overall, fairly simple figure. He's a car, turns into a robot, got a couple accessories, that's all there is to him, but he just looks so good doing it in both modes. I'm not sure how popular this guy will be, being a remold of a Wave 1 character. Me personally, I couldn't wait to pick him up, because like I said, I don't have a Red Alert other than this one. But I am very happy I made the purchase, and I think you will be too. Of course, that's just my take on him. I'd love to know what your take is in the comments section. If you like this review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, or any of my other Transformers videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you always get a heads up when I post something new. Thanks for taking this look at our paranoid Autobot friend alongside me. And with all that said, I will see you next time.